Hey family, this is King Karus the Black History Buff, and let me ask you something. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and found your entire country on the brink of chaos? Not because of some distant enemy, but because of people in your own backyard. Today, we're headed back to the heart of West Africa, to Burkina Faso, a nation standing at the crossroads of survival and betrayal. Picture this. It's the dead of night in Ouagadougou. Soldiers move in shadows, messages pass in secret. Somewhere a plan is unfolding, one designed to storm the presidential palace, throw the country into chaos, and open the door to foreign control. But before the first shot could be fired, the plot was exposed. Let me explain. Just a few weeks ago, Burkina Faso's military government revealed they had foiled a major plot to overthrow Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the young, fiery leader who took power in 2022, promising to turn the tide against relentless jihadist attacks. Security Minister Mahamadou Sana, speaking on state television, did not hold back. He said the plot wasn't just local, it was a dark alliance. Current and former soldiers working hand in hand with terrorist leaders, with masterminds hiding out across the border in the Ivory Coast. The plan? To launch a massive assault on the presidential palace on April 16th, 2025. They aim to create total chaos, weaken the government, and force Burkina Faso under international supervision. And they weren't working alone. They tried to use religious and traditional leaders to turn the army against its own, whispering promises, stoking old resentments. Sensitive military information was leaked to insurgents, meant to fuel attacks on soldiers and civilians alike, to spread fear, confusion, and ultimately revolt. Several officers, including 2 senior ones, were arrested. The government's claim that all roads led back to Ivory Coast, a country they've long accused of sheltering opposition figures. But family, here's the thing. This wasn't the first attempt to topple Captain Traoré. Back in November 2023, the government said it stopped another destabilization plot. Then too, whispers moved through the barracks, secret meetings were held, and arrests made, with fingers again pointing at soldiers linked to foreign interests. Every few months since Traoré seized power in 2022, rumors have swirled, plots, counterplots, threats from jihadists, threats from within. Each time, the government tightened its grip, launched fresh investigations, and made fresh accusations. Burkina Faso isn't just fighting rebels in the forests, it's fighting battles in the shadows. Battles for loyalty, battles for survival. Now family, let's talk about the fire this story has lit. I'm in several groups online, several Pan-African groups, and in the groups that I'm in, the debate is fierce. It isn't just noise. People are really grappling with what Traoré represents. Some call him a revolutionary, a man bold enough to break from France, sidestep the IMF, and chart a new course. They see him as a symbol of Pan-African pride, refusing to bow, refusing to beg. To them, he's a man standing in the footsteps of Sankara. But others are more cautious. They said, hold on. Just because someone shouts anti-colonial slogans doesn't mean they're clean. They've asked, why does he avoid public interviews? Why are there videos circulating of him speaking fluent English when he's rarely heard using it live? Is it even real? Or are we watching AI deepfakes shape the narrative? On the economy, things are also hot. Some praise Traoré for claiming to cancel debt and build housing, but others point to the books. Burkina Faso still owes billions. The IMF says the debt is sitting at 65% of GDP, and that does not scream economic freedom and prosperity. Then comes the matter of the press. Journalists like Zaguma Sang-Ogo, Luc Pagleguam, and Bakari Awoba have been arrested or silenced, And critics say, how can we talk about sovereignty when people are too scared to speak, especially the press? At times like this, we need a free press to tell us the true story, or at least give us a balanced account. On security, it's no less complicated. Supporters argue that things have improved, but the Global Terrorism Index says otherwise. Burkina Faso is listed as the most terror-affected country in the world right now. Entire regions are no-go zones. But is this true, or is this just Western propaganda that's been puffed up and blown out of proportion against the African leader? We do not know. Then there's the talk circulating online and in videos about a supposed US invasion. Some say it's fake news, a distraction. Others see it as part of a deeper game, where Burkina Faso becomes the battlefield between Western interests and Russian influence. But in the middle of all the arguments, a thread of hope keeps rising up. Voices are calling for smart trade, not just exploiting raw materials, but processing at home in Africa. Voices are calling for women's empowerment, youth investment, education, and real political alternatives rooted in values and not just vibes. Because at the end of the day, family, people don't just want survival, they want dignity, and they want leaders with vision and integrity. So now, family, whether you see Traoré as a liberator or a liability, one thing is undeniable. He sparked a conversation that needed to be had. Africa is wrestling with the ghosts of colonization and the chains of corruption, but it's also brimming with people who are waking up. People tired of mental slavery, people daring to believe in change even when their own kin and people mock them for it. So I ask you once again, who decides who owes who? Is this time for a new kind of leadership, one that wears integrity like armor? Let me know in the comment section. And if this episode stirred something in you, share it, talk about it. And if you want more real talk like this, join me over at the Black History Buff Village on Patreon. You can find the link in the description. Until next time, stay informed, keep making history, and stay blessed.